BiomedRx Optimum Woman is the only woman's high-potency full-spectrum multiple vitamin supplement to contain 56 nutrients, including those most important for today's woman, such as calcium for bone health, iron for healthy red blood cells, beta-carotene, biotin for nail and hair health, gamma-linoleic acid from evening primrose oil, octasanol, grapeseed extract, a potent antioxidant important for maintaining capillary strength, and vegetarian digestive enzymes. Visit www.biomedrxsupplements.com.
Gold label quality BiomedRx CBD oil is made from organic hemp that is locally grown, glyphosate-free, gluten-free, non-GMO, homogenized, third-party tested, and CO2 extracted. Visit www.biomedrxcbd.com.
Hi, this is Devin Lockett, the president of JobSite Route. As the son of a general contractor, I know how difficult it can be to get good food on the job site. And letting your construction workers leave the job site to buy lunch just takes valuable time away from them being on the site. I've developed an app and a program that will bring a steady stream of food trucks to your job sites every month for the low price of only $100 per month per site. That comes up to about $3 per day to have a steady stream of food trucks coming to your job sites all day, every working day. You can also contact the food trucks ahead of time and pre-order your food from the menu on our app. This saves valuable time for your construction workers and for you. It also sends a variety of delicious food served on Southern California food trucks to your job sites all day. When you think about it, it only makes sense to join the JobSite Route Network.
Some talking today. Thank you. We're going to do some talking today about the Gateway experience. The Gateway, for those of you who are familiar with my channel, is a collection of binaural beats which are audible tones that can elicit certain brainwave states in each individual that hears them. You have to listen to them through stereo headphones in order for them to be effective. Binaural beats. This is a series of a collection of binaural beats that are designed to allow a person to achieve the out-of-body experience at will, or at least to be able to achieve the out-of-body experience. But it's a little bit more complicated than the way I'm describing this right now. Let me turn the gain up a little bit so that I can sit back and speak to you guys. There's more to it than simply achieving an out-of-body experience. When you practice the gateway audio files, and this is something that I'm telling you from my own experience, right? When you practice the gateway audio files, you gain a greater sense of connectedness between yourself and the universe by understanding the world that we live in, including all physical matter, are really particles in a state of vibration, right? That these particles are at once particles and waves. That the physical, it's very, very hard for me to break this down, especially in layman's terms, so that you can understand it. But the process of listening, going through the audio files on the gateway process, not only I have yet to achieve an out-of-body state, so I'm not going to even mislead you in that way, but it opens up your consciousness. It opens up your consciousness to the universe in a way that is pretty much, is almost indescribable, but it gives you a greater understanding of the world, a greater understanding of epistemology, the way we learn, the process of learning, and the process of thought, the process of thinking. I can kind of, my mind is racing to try to find ways to explain some type of analogies or allegories that would communicate effectively exactly what's going on. I used to believe that the human mind at birth is a tabula rasa, and that all, a blank slate, and all learning consists of integrating that which you perceive into concepts, right? Through your senses: sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. And either through your direct experience or through being taught formally, by reading through your own erudition or through formal education. And now that I have been doing the binaural beats of the gateway process, I will tell you that my understanding of learning is more akin to the brain as a possible processor of thought, but that processor, that computer that we call the brain, is online. In other words, you're tapped into an infinite reservoir of thought. Yes, go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell for notification of new videos, and comment and all of that good stuff. And also hit me up on Cash App, BiomedRx, if you like what I'm talking about here, because I'm going through a lot with this. Like I said, I haven't achieved the out-of-body state yet, and when I do, you will be the first to know. In fact, I will probably go live immediately after that happens and explain the situation from my home studio. But like I said, the process of the gateway experience is a process of self-discovery, regardless of whether or not the participant actually achieves the out-of-body state. So, and I'm saying that from experience because I am a participant and I have yet to achieve the out-of-body state. Although I have experienced the vibration that that precedes the initiation of the out-of-body state. I have experienced that sense of, getting up after listening to the audio files of the out-of-body states all night. See, this is the process. This is the problem with it, right? This is the problem with this process. You lose a lot of sleep because the best time to practice doing the gateway experience is at the end of the day when you have your headphones and you have your quiet, you have your bed, and you have time and you've already had your evening meal, and you figure, well, I'm just going to listen to some binaural beats and then go to sleep. Well, it's not that easy, and it doesn't happen that way. And what happens is it kind of stirs you up a little bit. And if you're curious about being close to achieving the out-of-body state, then you're going to have a hard time getting to sleep the closer you get to achieving that, right? Obviously, you're going to be a little excited. So that's counterintuitive. Now, I will tell you, if you're waking up on Saturday morning and it's a weekend and you've had a good night's sleep and you're well rested, then that is a great time to do it because your brain is fresh. Now, I will also tell you that it helps if you have access to neurofeedback. My neurofeedback training, especially the fact that I train in synchrony, hemispheric synchronization, definitely conditions your brain to work in synchrony between the left and right hemispheres, and it makes it easier to get to do the gateway process. I will admit that, as well as the use of the Mind Alive products, such as the Mind Alive David Delight Pro. You can find out more about Mind Alive at mindalive.com. And Haritaki, that's a good supplement, a good substance that you can take that will help. It cleanses the brain. It cleanses the brain, cleanses the pineal gland, and it helps the two hemispheres of the brain work in cohesion, and it also raises the percentage of oxygen in the brain. So Haritaki is good, as well as monatomic gold, okay? Ormus, O-R-M-U-S. Monatomic gold. I haven't taken any today, and I'm not going to take it because now it's too late in the day. It's good to cycle on and cycle off. But monatomic gold also helps the two hemispheres of the brain to work in synchrony and cohesion with each other more efficiently. So without further delay, I'm going to take you guys to the slide of the what is this? The gateway process. All right, here we are. So now, this is the gateway, okay? Actually, this is the document that you get when that comes with the gateway audio files, okay? And I'm not going to read this to you. Fair use, as you guys can see below my video screen here. Fair use. Where are we here? All right. But I just want to kind of scroll here through the gateway process because I want to talk about a couple of things from the perspective of someone who's actually experiencing the gateway right now. I'm not going to read the affirmation, but of course, if you want, you can always pause the video right here and enlarge the screen and read it, right, for yourself, okay? Because I hear it so often, you know, when I'm listening to the audio files that I don't care to read it, okay? And I'm not going to go through all of this research. Now, You guys should understand hemispheric synchronization, or hemisync, or binaural beats, because if you go to my BiomedRx TV channel, I've done videos explaining binaural beats, okay, the history and everything. Okay. I also recommend that you go to the Monroe Institute YouTube channel and check it out. Check out the videos by Bob Monroe, okay? Especially the ones called Wednesdays with Bob Monroe, where he actually talks about the experiences he has during the afterlife. Well, the experiences he has on the spiritual realm, on the other side, and having confronted or encountered certain other, well, maybe other or us or whatever, souls, I guess you could say, souls in their pure form, in their raw form. So, as are all Gateway programs, the Gateway experience is dedicated to the exploration and development of human consciousness through a system of exercises using hemisync. These exercises assist you to know and better understand your total self. This is absolutely true. They are designed so that you may learn and experience profound areas of expanded awareness. This is true, and I'm trying my best to explain this. And as a person who's been a teacher across many cultures and many countries and many languages, I am trying my best to explain it in the most basic and understandable, digestible way possible. And trust me, it is a challenge. It is very, very challenging. Each exercise requires active concentration, volition, and sometimes courage as you move by carefully controlled steps from deep relaxation to those thresholds of consciousness apparently related to deep meditation. These thresholds become gateways into different forms of perception, states of expanded awareness, of freedom. The tapes also provide a structured environment in which you create your own experiences, your own adventures. Now, like I said, I'm not going to read it all to you. I'm just going to read out the things that are significant to what I'm experiencing right now. Many who use the Gateway experience or participate in the Institute's programs are in search of the out-of-body experience, OBE. This is not surprising considering the wide dissemination of Mr. Monroe's books and the extensive media coverage of our work in this area. One of the Institute's early goals was to develop and provide a training system in this technique. However, as more sophisticated methods of exploration were developed, it became evident that participants were entering discrete, distinct, and separate, non-ordinary states of consciousness. These states facilitate a great deal more than the out-of-body experience. And this is true, because I will tell you that simultaneously, my own confidence and my own intelligence, meaning everything that I've ever seen, everything that I've ever heard, even if I've heard it tangentially, even if I wasn't listening directly to it, everything that I've ever experienced, either directly or indirectly, is there, was recorded, and my brain does remember it. My confidence in being able to access this information is a lot greater since listening to the Gateway. And I'm going to tell you something, and I shouldn't be saying this because I guess it constitutes bootlegging, but it's not me. But there are other channels on YouTube where the gateway, some of the gateway files have already been uploaded. So I'll leave that up to you to find, and you have to get yourself a good set of headphones, stereo headphones, of course, and stereo headphones that cover your ears. I use the Bose 700 series that actually has noise cancellation and everything. I mean, they're a great set of headphones. But like I said, my ability to remember things that I've seen, even if I didn't, like learn them, quote unquote, deliberately, my confidence in my own knowledge and my ability to tap into what seems like an infinite source of knowledge has greatly improved, and I am satisfied with those results by themselves, to be perfectly honest with you. Now, as we go down here, like I said, I'm not going to bore you by reading this whole thing. I don't keep my live videos very long. Here we go. This is what I'm talking about here. Thought ball, as one person delightfully described it. Okay. Let's go down here. In our language, our concepts are deeply tied to the visual. We honor men and women of vision, value, and insight. That's right. Do you see what we mean? Visual means of perception are important. At the same time, visual perception is often emphasized and considered essential to the control and use of energy. It's not necessarily so. One can get caught up in the entertainment value of the visual and the endless fascination of unfolding visualization can blind us to other kinds of perception. Visualizations can be incredibly meaningful. However, an attachment to them can become a major block to other perceptual cues. An auditory perception may manifest as verbal messages, voices, or impressions of voices. It may also occur as sounds, such as static, buzzing, pops, clicks, tones, or even music. These perceptions have a delicacy, a quality difficult to convey in the physical waking consciousness 1 or C1 terms. Too often, we close such beautiful channels that were open to us by discounting our impressions as unreal rather than allowing them to be legitimate. Gateway participants often report intuitive perceptions. Intuitive perceptions is where I'm getting at. A sudden awareness, a gestalt, a whole knowing, a thought ball, as one person delightfully describes it. And, that's all I'm going to say. I mean, this is a very long book, and I highly recommend getting the not only the Gateway but many other of the Monroe Institute's HemiSync programs. There are programs that will improve your health, your physical health in many ways, and there are also programs that will improve every aspect of cognitive function. Let's put it that way. Every aspect. Now, before we get off of this frame, before I close out, I want to show you this report here. This report was recently released, 2003, 09, 10, right there. Right. But it was first recorded on the 9th of June of 1983.
Even superheroes and supermodels need a daily dose of nutrients to help make life more super. BiomedRx Supplements is making it easy to get exactly what you need. From kids to seniors, they've got something for everyone. Pretty cool, right? Check out their products at BiomedRxSupplements.com.
All right. Here we are back. Okay, so this was a document that was a report basically done on an analysis and assessment of the Gateway process ordered by the Central Intelligence Agency and several military personnel. I believe it was like a multi-branch project. So what you see here are the report. Like I said, we're going to be going over all of this in depth on future videos. So this is a series, and we're not going to go over everything right now. I'm just touching on it. I'm touching on it so that I can talk to you about my personal experience with the gateway, and you know, what I can either confirm or try to deny, which I'm not going to try to deny, from other people's experience with the gateway. But I am seeing here that a lot of what I'm learning here in this report is that a lot of my understanding of the way the brain works from my study of neuroscience, neurofeedback at the EEG Institute, and on my own, as well as hypnosis, my understanding of hypnosis, are pretty much coming together. And I'm actually learning some new things. I mean, you know, like, you know, they're talking about the left and right hemisphere of the brain, and that the left hemisphere actually contains the what we will call the critical faculty, or what I call the bullshit detector. And the critical faculty, it develops around 7 or 8 years old, maybe 9 years old in most people. And you know, once you preoccupy that critical faculty by overloading it with message units, then you can achieve hypnosis, because by preoccupying the critical faculty, you send the person into the fight or flight state. And that, when the fight or flight state, when the person's in a state of fight or flight, then they have no active critical faculty. So it's very easy to access their subconscious. Okay, so now lateral view, motor cortex, sensory cortex, third ventricle, lateral ventricles, frontal lobe. Okay, all right. Which is, of course, why you take your girlfriend to see scary movies, right? So you get her in the fight or flight mode, and then you can look her in the eye and say, "I love you," and hopefully it'll stick at that moment. The motor and sensory cortex and the third and lateral ventricles, okay? They talk about the anatomy of the brain. And, yeah, it's very good. It's very good. And I believe this, you know, I should have put the link in the description. I think I will in future videos of this series. But it is important to understand everything that they went through in order to fully experience the gateway, in order to fully practice experiencing the gateway. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really know what is going to be the result of exploring the gateway experience simultaneously at this particular time, while the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland is active again, slamming particles and perhaps opening up gateways into other realities. So there's one diagram that I want to show you guys here. You know, they're talking about holograms, and they're talking about how the part encodes the whole, and you know, they're making a lot of references to how we perceive reality, and that reality, like I said, even solid matter are really only vibrations. It's matter in vibration. And so, I mean, you know, here we have it. Okay. The consciousness energy grid. Okay. So it's very, very, very much worth reading and understanding. Remember, these people were ordered by the military to explore this, and they have, they had no reason to, to lie. For example, they had no incentive to misrepresent the truth here. Now, here's a graph that I wanted to share with you. Yeah, go ahead on and remember to like and subscribe and everything. To this channel, as well as BiomedRx TV and the other Devin Lockett channels. Thank you. This is what I wanted you guys to see. As you see here, Above is the absolute infinity. Below is the absolute infinity. And everything here in the middle of these two 10 to the minus 33, right? Right here is portion of oscillating energy pattern in space and time space. In other words, this is what we actually see and experience as reality. And I'm talking about material things, space, time, everything, okay? Now, just like if you can imagine this being a sine wave, like an electrical sine wave, we would have a calculation called RMS, voltage. Root means square voltage, or the effective voltage. And the effective voltage is about 7.74% of, 74.4% or something like that of the actual voltage, or the delivered voltage. The peak to peak voltage is what they were saying. Now, if we look at this signal from peak to peak, the peaks reach into the absolute infinity, because if everything that we perceive in physical reality is just vibrations, right? Simultaneously particles and waves, vibrations, that then in order for something to vibrate, there has to be a location from and to for the locomotion to take place. It has to be a location, right? If something is vibrating, that means it's vibrating in reference to where it is. And therefore, when it's vibrating, there has to be a turnaround point where it has to stop and turn around and go back in the other direction. And during that time, it has to slow down in order to turn around and come back. In that moment in time, here's what they're talking about. That's called the clicked out portion of oscillating energy, traversing intermediate dimensions. In other words, once you are listening to the binaural beats of the gateway process enough to the point where you're actually experiencing the sensations of vibrations, then you are actually able to personally traverse realities, right? Like people talk about alternative or parallel realities, or parallel dimensions, or intermediate dimensions. This is what they're talking about, okay? This is what they're talking about, Planck's distance, okay? During that particular time. Beyond that, then that's the absolute infinity, okay? So operating in this little clicked out portion gives you the ability to accomplish what they call patterning, which means, basically you can envision. It's like when people use a vision board, right? You can envision the reality that you want. You can envision the life that you want. You can envision the future that you want. Or you can act as if you already have all of these blessings in place. And voila, pretty soon after you finish this practice, these things will happen and they will fall in place for you in your life. And so that's very interesting. Okay, as here they're talking about the evolution of space-time, direction of space-time evolving. Okay. Very interesting, right? So reading this document and reading the document that comes with the Gateway Experience paperwork is the Gateway audio files. I know it sounds crazy. It sounds, outrageous that some simple sounds that you can probably access right now if you open up another browser window on YouTube and just look for Gateway binaural beats. Like I said, I don't have them uploaded, but there are people who do have them uploaded. And the process of listening to these files will actually
Go Gold label quality BiomedRx CBD oil is made from organic hemp that is locally grown, glyphosate-free, gluten-free, non-GMO, homogenized, third-party tested, and CO2 extracted. Visit www.biomedrxcbd.com.
Yes, there's always time for BiomedRx CBD. We go all the way up to 10,000 milligram strength. You're not going to find CBD any stronger than that. But back to this. It's very important. Let's see, okay. The tangible world is movement, say the masters, not a collection of moving objects, but movement itself. There are no objects in movement. It is the movement which constitutes the objects which appear to us. They are nothing but movement. This movement is a continued and infinitely rapid succession of flashes of energy in Tibetan Sal or Shod. All objects perceptible to our senses, all phenomena of whatever kind and whatever aspect they may assume, are constituted by a rapid succession of instantaneous events. The classic description of the universal hologram is to be found in a Hindu sutra, which says, in the heaven of Indra, there is said to be a network of pearls so arranged that if you look at one, you see all of the others reflected in it. So, like I said, you can understand that if the movement, the vibration, is what constitutes what we perceive as reality, even what we perceive as solid objects, then no matter whether they're heavy or large or Earth itself, right? Then at some point, that vibration has to begin to move in the opposite direction. No matter how fast or slow the vibration is happening, there still has to be a time where it stops and starts to move in the opposite direction, or it would not be, the motion would not be defined as vibration, right? There has to be some local motion, right? Some movement back and forth, or back and into some other direction in space-time. As you train your brain with the gateway process, okay, and I will be very honest with you, as you train your brain with this gateway process, you will definitely increase your ability to perceive beyond this realm of physical reality, and for yourself, which will enable some pretty eerie and strange things to happen. Now, I'm a firm believer that these experiences bring one closer into touch with who one already is. And, as a result, I personally have enjoyed spending more quality time with my son, but I always enjoy spending quality time with my son, but even more so lately. And since going through the gateway experience and actually being able to live life in the slow lane and enjoy it. And I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. But that's really all I have to share for this video. I'm thinking that you guys can contact me at info@devinlockett.tv if you would like me to send you a copy of any of these documents, or if there is anything that you would like me to discuss on future shows, on future episodes. Let me get you back to back to my office. All right. Yeah, it's much better to look at my face more closely now. So if you'd like to get a copy of this, of these documents, let me know. Contact me if there's anything that you'd like me to discuss on future shows. Then go ahead on and let me know. Like I said, I will be letting you know all of the tips and tricks that I do to maximize my brain's potential, to maximize my ability to reach higher states of consciousness, or to achieve what we call consciousness hacking and or neural hacking. So in the meantime, I want everyone to stay kind, because kind is not only the new sexy, kind is the only sexy. I want you to stay blessed, and I want you to stay healthy, okay? Keep drinking a lot of water. There's a heat wave going on all over the world, and take care of yourselves. I will see you guys on the next live. Peace.
Gold label quality BiomedRx CBD oil is made from organic hemp that is locally grown, glyphosate free, gluten free, non-GMO, homogenized, third-party tested, and CO2 extracted. Visit www.biomedrxcbd.com.
BiomedRx Optimum Woman is the only woman's high-potency full-spectrum multiple vitamin supplement to contain 56 nutrients, including those most important for today's woman, such as calcium for bone health, iron for healthy red blood cells, beta-carotene, biotin for nail and hair health, gamma-linoleic acid from evening primrose oil, octasanol, grapeseed extract, a potent antioxidant important for maintaining capillary strength, and vegetarian digestive enzymes. Visit www.biomedrxsupplements.com.